Ho, Merry Christmas, everybody. Ho, ho, ho.
Really?
Or at least Christmas month.
Is that what they call it in Ponyville?
No. But, you know. Hi, guys. Welcome to Earth. This is the Ross and Wizzy's Fan Fiction Power Hour. Christmas edition for the month of December, except for I think the last week. Probably. We are going to be reading some Christmas stories. Some Christmas My Little Pony stories. Wizzy, how long has it been since we've recorded?
That has to be like 4 months, I think.
Yeah, it's been around 4 months since we recorded. It's the 1st of November currently. Well, technically for me, it's the 2nd of November. But, so I've been like, we should probably get recording sometime soon because our last video our last podcast that we recorded is like coming out in a month at least, or at most. So yeah, we're gonna have to stockpile these again, you know, man. And Wizzy, I cannot wait for Christmas. So we're doing the Christmas episodes. Oh boy, oh boy.
This is going to be my first experience of My Little Pony's celebration of Christmas.
Oh man. This is gonna be good. Alright, I'm sure you guys want us to get to the stories, so this first one we're reading to, by the way, is called Hearth's Warming Eve 1,000 Years Ago by Vigilance.
Did you say hearts warming?
Hearth's Warming, yeah.
Okay.
The cold moon air was as commonplace this time of year as any other. Well, the air isn't over at the moon, but whatever. And yet, it pierced through the blackened heart of the moon's fallen guardian a great deal. Nightmare Moon was pacing now, the invisible shackles around her being clanging silently. The mare turned to the earth, hatred building up as she did. A dark scowl plastered itself on her face, and she stomped on her face, and she stomped the hard, rocky surface of her prison. Sorry if I'm messing up a whole lot, maybe. It's been a while since we've done this, you know.
Is there a dark mode?
Yeah.
Dark mode, there it is.
I'm looking at it right now.
Ultra dark, that's what I want. There we go. Ooh.
Hell yeah, baby.
Oh, perfect for wait, this isn't Halloween. This is Christmas.
Well, currently it's Dia de los Muertos for us.
Hey!
I mean, we don't celebrate it, really, but, you know.
I watched Coco, that's enough.
Well, sure. That might also be offensive, I don't know. Dust and clumps of rock shot up into space and, thanks to the lack of gravity, continued to flow upward until they left the moon and glided towards Earth. Nightmare's scowl deepened.
Am I Nightmare?
Yeah, baby.
Oh, I've been Luna. This is gonna be Nightmare Moon. I gotta do an evil voice for this. Okay.
Okay.
Bah! Mere dirt can find its way back to the world, and yet I stand here, clapped down like a rat caught in a clever trap. Damn you, Celestia! Even now you sit on your fat rump and laugh at me.
You know, I expected that you would have done that exact voice. So.
Am I that predictable?
Yep. Really, I win this one. Nightmare turned from the earth, sure in the assumption her bitch of a sister was looking to the moon and smiling at how it became her sister's prison. Nightmare paced more, kicking anything that was above ground level as she did. She turned to the blue orb again. It looked so close. The clouds were white and puffy, and the makings of snow could be seen falling to Earth, to Equestria, to her country. The mare sat down on her haunches, distraught. Snowing? What time of the year was it? It was hard to tell on the moon. Summer was as cold as winter, and fall was as gray as spring.
It must be December, or some month close to it.
Nightmare said aloud to no one but herself. On Earth, she ruled. No, Celestia always ruled. Luna has always just some puppet to laugh at. Think you forgot a bean there?
Yeah, you
But
forgot
I'll let
lima
it slide.
bean.
I'll let it slide. Nightmare stomped again. Anyway, back on Earth, the royal mare would have thought that talking to oneself was the mark of insanity. Now, here on the moon, not talking aloud was a surefire way to go nuts. It had taken Nightmare some time to alter her magic so it could act as the air needed for sound to exist. But it had been worth it. I just want to say that talking to yourself is a great way to stay focused.
No wonder I'm always so unfocused.
Which is why it's interesting why you're not allowed to talk in schools, Miss... I can't think of my teacher's name. I didn't even go to school, so... Homeschooled, baby.
We're the cool guys.
Yeah.
School
Fist
for
bump.
chumps.
Nightmare scratched her chin.
Yes, I can see it now. It's December. Not only that, but it's the day before Hearth's warming eve.
Damn. Could tell all that by that? Nice. Nightmare could tell these things thanks to her advanced knowledge of astrology, of course. Luna had always taken pride in that knowledge. She knew more than even Celestia. Still, Nightmare Moon pouted.
Yes, it's that time of the year.
Nightmare ground her hoof in circles on the ground.
Now Celestia's probably enjoying chocolate by a fire. Her subjects sending letters of praise and love. She probably walks Canterlot's streets, parading herself like some whore.
Parading herself off like some whore, but yeah.
I was just distracted by the cuss word.
And I doubt that, Luna, but whatever. Magic sparked around the dark alicorn.
Then she'll go to the Hearth's warming eve play and get even more praise.
Nightmare coughed and made her voice shrill and high.
Wait, even more shrill and high?
You fucked up.
Oh, Princess Celestia, thank you so much for raising the sun. We love the daytime so much, and we're so happy you defeated your ugly, pathetic sister, Luna. Who needs her? She's just weak, useless, unnecessary.
Nightmare Moon hung her head, her normal voice again.
She's a monster. So glad you ended her.
The Moon Princess clenched her teeth.
And after that praise, she'll go back to the castle and snuggle into her bed near the fire, her soft fur glowing by the fire. Then I'll come in and we'll sit by the fire and talk. We'll have our time. We'll...
A tear formed in Nightmare's eyes. The mare sniffed, and instantly became angry.
No! No, we won't do that anymore. Celestia's made sure of that.
Was she not always angry?
No more will we give presents to the poor. No longer will we read the old stories again. No longer will we sing together when no pony's around. No longer will we be sisters.
I mean, whose fault is that, really? The alicorn shook her head. She got up and walked about, annoyed and downtrodden to no end. After looking back at the earth again, an idea came to the mare.
Ha! Why do I need her? Why should I need her? Wait, what? Why do I need her? Why should I need her? I am Nightmare Moon, guardian of the moon, true empress of Equestria.
Nightmare Moon stood straight like a statue and smiled grandly, her fangs gleaming.
I'll just have my own Hearth's warming eve, right here. There is no need for my sister. Yes, that's what I'll do. Now all I need is...
Nightmare looked down, lost in thought.
Wait. No. Wait, what? Wait, no. That'd be impossible to get on the moon. Oh,
I'll
well,
just assume that Nightmare's crazy, and that's why this is...
Oh, well, No, that won't work either. No air, after all. Hey, they said there was moon air.
Yeah, what's with this? We should just stop reading right here. The princess slumped down onto her haunches again.
Blast it all! What am I to do? How can I have a proper Eve without the essentials?
An idea popped up.
Wait, of course! I'm an alicorn. I'm as close to a god as any living being could ever hope to be. I'll just magic myself everything I'll need. Ingenious!
Like a rocket ship, some fuel, a way to break out of your chains.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably the stuff you'll need. The mare lit up her horn and readied the proper spells. Nightmare Moon lit off the spell and nothing happened. Her spells had done nothing. The mare grouched, crossing her forelegs.
Of course. My sister prevents me from casting any high-level spells. Cretin.
Is this a fucking D&D game? Nightmare Moon looked at the Earth. Night was about to fall on Equestria, and then Hearth's warming eve would come. The ponies of Equestria, every stallion, mare, and foal, would awake in a cheery holiday ecstasy like no other seen all year. They'd sing of friendship and love. The Grinch, you know? They'd give each other gifts and receive gifts themselves. The foals would laugh and play in the snow, making snow ponies and having snowball fights. How one actually made a snowball with hooves irked Luna to no end, when she was still her normal self. Merrymaking and cheer would spread everywhere, from Canterlot to Manhattan, Baltimore and Cloudsdale. Were those even there? Were those cities even there 1,000 years ago? Jeez Louise. Even the Pony Valley, future location of a town we all know, and the collection of hovels that resided there. Nowhere would be safe from friendship and love. Nowhere but the moon, and by extension, Nightmare Moon. Nonsense. You have the moon. So, you know, at least you got each other.
I wonder if she ever dates the moon.
That'd be hot. Nightmare would get nothing. No songs, no gifts to give or receive. No snow, no merriment, no family. All were lost to the dark alicorn now. You don't get food, do you? Wow, that must freaking suck.
Oh, man. Imagine how Celestia would be without her cake.
Nightmare finally slumped onto her belly and looked at Earth with wetting eyes. The mare shook her head.
No, I will not cry. Crying is for the foolish. I am no fool.
Despite her attempts, tears flowed like a waterfall.
Where?
Oh, get over yourself.
No, I will not cry. I will not. Sister, Tia, why? Why did you do this to me? I wanted to be loved. I wanted to let the ponies of Equestria know that my night is just as great as your day. I wanted the respect like you had. I wanted to be seen as their great princess of the night. Like you were of the day, Tia. I wanted to be you.
So, do you want a list of the reasons why? I can give you a pretty solid list here of why you were sent there. You know, just saying, it wasn't just because you wanted to be loved.
Yeah.
There were some other things here.
I mean, she was basically a terrorist, right?
Essentially. From princess to terrorist. What a slope.
Hey, that should be the title of my next novel.
Nightmare hit her head in the dirt, tears mixing with the ground. More like Nightmare Ostrich. Also, is the moon stuff dirt? Is there dirt on the moon?
I mean, that's not dirt, because dirt is usually like, bug poop and stuff.
Yeah, that's
Decomposed.
it's bug
stuff.
poop. Ugh.
Why must I be alone? Why must I be alone?
Again, I can give you several reasons. Nightmare Moon shook her head in pain. Why should her sister Celestia have everything? Why should she have warm, soft friends and lovers to cuddle with while Nightmare Moon gets nothing?
Wait. Lovers?
Oh my.
Has she ever gotten with anyone in the show?
Not that we know.
Ooh, I have a list of people I want to ship her with.
Okay, well, let's finish the story, and then we'll hear that list.
Why must I have no pony for comfort? Why?
Luna shifted and turned uneasily, mumbling to herself.
Why? Ah! I can't be too loud.
What a beautiful noise. Sorry, I can't scream. My mom's in the other room. Luna shot up from her bed. The alicorn looked around. She was in her room, in Canterlot, and it was almost midnight. Luna took a hoof to her mane, feeling it, solid. It was solid and not ethereal, and blowing without wind. Luna's eyes shifted to her leg. It wasn't black. No, it had a silvery navy blue hue to it. Finally, Luna realized she was not Nightmare Moon. She was herself, and she was free. Luna looked at the moon. She was still too weak to raise her charge, and so had to be content to let Celestia do it. With nothing to do at night, Luna had simply taken to sleeping, which made her feel hypocritical, and even worse about her becoming Nightmare Moon. A tear left the Moon Princess's eye.
We were, and are, a monster.
Luna. The mentioned mare turned instantly to the source of her name. Standing in the doorway of Luna's room stood Celestia, naked,
What?
her royal trappings and other accessories gone. Celestia took a step into the room. Luna, what's wrong? Why are you crying? Yeah, I thought I'd take a page out of Wizzy's book this time.
Which page is that?
Having terrible voices for characters.
Excuse me, my voices are wonderful.
The worst voices for characters.
At least my voices have character.
I gave Tia a character here.
You're saying you're copying the type of voice I do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it has character.
I mean, all of my voices have character still. But what I'm saying is that even if they have characters, they're still awful. I'm just saying, man.
Hey, Ross.
Yeah,
You're being mean.
I am. Merry Christmas, Wizzy. Luna turned from her sister's concerned gaze. It was poison to her. More tears formed.
We are a monster, Tia. We realized that 1,000 years ago today, on Hearth's warming eve, and still we tried to cover the world in blackness on our return. No wonder the ponies of Equestria hate us.
I do too. I'm not a pony from Equestria, but...
You're not?
No.
Then what are we doing here?
Reading a fan fiction, Wizzy. Do you think that's real?
No, not at all. Not me.
You really shouldn't. All right, well, Celestia walked to the side of her sister's bed, an intent glare on her face. Luna, the ponies of this land do not hate you. They simply do not understand. Oh no, I hate you, Luna.
Dude, come on. She just wanted to be loved when she did all that bad stuff.
All right, cool. And I'm sure Osama bin Laden wanted to be loved.
Dude, that got dark real quick.
I know.
It is easy for you to say,
Luna huffed.
Huff. To them you are a hero and a ruler of which there is no comparison, and it has remained such for eons.
For good reason.
To them we are the selfish sister who hated not getting all the attention and went crazy because of it. And even after the worst punishment imaginable, we still could not get it through our thick skull. They despise us.
I wouldn't say I despise you, but hate is a good word for it. Celestia placed herself on Luna's bed, on her regal belly. Okay? Well, if that is true, then it is up to you to change that and show them that you are as great and wonderful as I'll ever be, if not more. Luna sniffed.
How could I be more?
Celestia smiled to her sister. Because you would not ignore your sister's pleas for attention and help. You would have done something. You would have stopped me before. Celestia sighed. Give it time, Luna. Everything will work out. Hey, who knows? You might already have thousands of fans.
Really?
Luna asked. No, not really. Celestia nodded. Of course. I know it for a fact. Maybe not here in Equestria, but somewhere thousands cheer... Oh, God. Somewhere thousands cheer out your name in praise. I promise you that. Celestia smiled and nuzzled her sister. Good night, Luna. Celestia got up from her position to leave.
Sister,
Luna began. Celestia turned to the younger Alicorn.
would you mind sleeping here with us tonight? We don't want to be alone on our first Hearth's warming eve back from our imprisonment.
Luna smiled sheepishly. Celestia smiled. Of course, Luna. What is this holiday about but to be with the ones we care for the most? And with that, Celestia climbed into the bed and snuggled next to her sister. Luna placed her head on her sister's breast. As warm and comforting... Wait, what was our thing with thoughts again? It's been a while.
Then I would voice it.
Yeah, okay. There's a thought here. It's an italics.
You didn't say Luna thought.
You didn't say the thing.
Oh, that's the thought. Oh, okay. As warm and comforting as the sun itself,
Luna thought. Good night, Luna. Celestia spoke once more, quickly drifting off.
For some reason I thought the good night Luna was the thought.
Yeah, well, that's not italics.
I know. I'm so terrible.
You are. But that's okay.
Good night, dear.
Luna responded. Soon, the slow up and down of Celestia's breast confirmed she had drifted off to sleep. Luna looked to the night sky and saw the full moon above. Luna gave it a stern look.
We swear upon the Hearth's warming eve moon that we regain the love of our country. We will be the princess they deserve.
Luna smiled to herself and rested on her sister, happy that she would never, again, spend this day alone. The end. All right, Wizzy, before we get into your thoughts on the matter at hand, and my thoughts as well, what's your list of lovers that you think that Celestia should have? What's the list of people that you ship with Celestia?
Oh, boy. Okay, so the first one, Discord.
Good one.
The next one, you may disagree with this, Vinyl Scratch.
Okay. You know,
And
both
then
consenting
the
adults. I don't
next
mind
one.
that.
Oh, you're gonna mind this one then.
Okay.
Apple Bloom.
I do mind that. Actually.
I had no idea what I was gonna say for the last one. So after you said that, I just put that in.
I also called that you were going to say Vinyl Scratch.
It was after the
Not
whole
out
Celestia
loud,
Scratch
but-
thing.
Well, yeah. It's probably their ship name, too. So, Wizzy, what did you think about this episode? We are giddy today, by the way.
Ah.
Or at least I am.
Well, I felt like it was written well. It was pretty sweet. It didn't really accomplish much. And I don't like the weird intimacy at the end between Luna and Celestia.
I can understand that. Sometimes intimate relationships with your siblings can be a weird thing to come across. But, you know, I actually kind of agree with you there. I actually think that this was, while good, it didn't have a whole lot of substance in it, you know? And, like, a whole bunch of stuff was kind of repeated.
Yeah.
It wasn't much... I felt it could have been much better. And I think a revision would do this justice a lot. But, of course, I don't want to get on the author too bad. Like, I'm sure they definitely tried. And you know what? There's a definite effort here. So I want to congratulate the author for writing something that at least 12 people liked. And you know what? If you liked listening to us, don't give us the thumbs up. Go over there and give this fic a thumbs up. In the description of each episode.
Yeah, I can definitely see where the writer has potential.
Yeah.
And I would probably read more of their stories.
Yeah, I agree. They haven't uploaded anything in, a while. Well, Wizzy, come on down to this next story here, and we'll continue this wild ride of the night.
All right.
This one, oh boy, is called The One That Would Never Come by Brony2893. If that would be a bit difficult for some of you to look up, don't worry, just go down into the description. It'll all be there.
You know, I didn't realize that bronies each had their individual numbers.
Oh, no, yeah, it's true. Mine is 568973228.
Oh my god, you got in the game late compared to this dude.
Oh, yeah, no, this guy, like, he was probably an OG brony, you know?
Before Friendship is Magic was even a thing.
Yeah, probably. A lot of people seem to like this one. 104 upvotes. So that's good, that's good. All right. So, chapter... This year. This year would be different. This year, she would finally see the mysterious figure in red. She looked over to the present beside her. A red box with a beautiful yellow bow. Inside was a new gift, each one different than the year before. Lyra Heartstrings. Woo, Lyra, finally getting a Lyra fic.
Whoa, I think I've heard her name. That's it.
She's a unicorn, got green skin, you know.
She into music?
Well, her name is literally Lyra Heartstrings. So,
well, yeah, that's why I assumed as much.
Yeah, you should have assumed that. Lyra Heartstrings sat on the same bench as she always did. It was a park outside Ponyville that was too far for most ponies. There was a lamppost next to her that was abandoned and left to rust many years ago. But Lyra always brought a little fuel with her every year, just for this one special occasion. Its soft glow illuminated the bench, surrounded by a beautiful blanket of pristine, undisturbed snow. Her hoofprints had been covered up hours ago by the slow, gentle falling of the snow. It was very late now. She hadn't the faintest idea what time it was, but she didn't care. This year would be the one. Not many ponies knew about the tradition the mint green unicorn did every year in the park. Lyra had been having these nightly visions ever since she was a filly, but never did anything about it until she moved out. Once the word got out, ponies laughed at her wherever she went. It almost ruined her music career as well. Even her mare friend, Bon Bon, thought her dreams were as silly as Lyra's personality most days. This was
Ooh.
the first year the unicorn hadn't been living on her own. The first year she lived with her special sun pony. Lyra wrapped the purple scarf tighter around her head and neck. She didn't want to wear too many clothes that would obscure her features and make the stranger in red think she wasn't there. Oh yeah, you know what? You have heard about this pony before?
Yeah?
In that awful, awful fan fiction that we read off the podcast.
Oh, no! Oh,
Yep.
that's probably where I remember the name. Oh.
Let's just say there was some homophobia in there. It's a very bad story that I'm glad we didn't read on the podcast.
Yeah, I don't want the listeners to have to suffer through that.
She didn't want to wear too many clothes that would obscure her features and make the stranger in red think she wasn't there. She looked up and watched the snow continue to fall, glad she brought a small cloth to protect the gift next to her. She didn't want it getting ruined, after all, naturally. The weather couldn't have been more beautiful for the evening before, the day every pony celebrated. The sky was as dark as it could be. Not even Luna's largest and brightest moon of the year could pierce the snowy shields over the land. Lyra looked in the direction of Ponyville and couldn't see any of the lights. Even though the town's border was only a couple of miles away, it didn't matter, though. She'd memorized the route and wasn't slowed down, no matter how much snow there was. Lyra looked down to her hooves, rubbed them together. It was the calmest, least windy heartwarming eve she could remember, but she still felt the sting of cold as it easily bypassed her natural coat. It didn't matter, though. It would all be worth it when she could give her present to the strange being and know she was not the loony Lyra most ponies thought.
Oh, poor Lyra.
Is it Santa?
Oh, that didn't even cross my mind.
Is this the Great Pumpkin, but for ponies Christmas? Well, alrighty then. Add a blanket, suckle on your thumb. This year, she would prove them wrong. This year, she was even more confident in her quest. Ever since she'd started living on her own without the help of her parents, she'd still had the same dream, exactly as it was now. The only things that changed were the colors of the present and the scarf she wore every year in those nightly visions. This year was a red box with a yellow ribbon and a purple scarf. The year before was a blue box with an orange ribbon and a pink scarf. And the list goes on. Her premonition was different this year. For the first time ever, she had the dream twice, and each one showed the same thing. Something inside Lyra told her this would be it. This would be the year she would go home happy.
Home,
Lyra whispered to herself. She thought of Bon Bon, likely sitting in front of the window, worried about her. She sighed to herself and exhaled a slow breath, a cloud of particles slowly leaving her muzzle and drifting away. This was the first year she'd ever invited another pony along with her. The first year she trusted some pony with something so important. The first year she and Bon Bon fought without one apologizing to the other.
Wait, are her and Bon Bon dating?
Lyra pushed... Well, it's a funny thing about that. A, she did say mare friend earlier, so that would be a clue there. B, in the show they're married.
So there's actually lesbian horses in the show?
Yeah, baby.
Yes!
In the
I didn't
show,
realize that it was that explicit.
they only got married in, like, the last episode.
They
Got engaged in one of the last episodes, and also they're background ponies.
Yeah.
So, but it's like people were shipping them for years before we knew if they did, like each other or not. They got a few speaking roles with each other a few times. They were usually in the background because they go well together. What was that?
When do we get a non-adult cartoon that can have an openly gay couple throughout the entire show, or at least throughout more of the show than the last few episodes?
Now, that's what I'm looking for. I mean, I suppose there is She-Ra, which did have one, but they weren't main characters.
Yeah. Netflix is good at that.
Yep. Well, sometimes they're good. Sometimes they're Voltron.
Oh, don't remind me.
Lyra pushed... Sorry that we're stalling here, by the way. That's my bad. Lyra pushed the troubling thoughts of the mare she loved aside and closed her eyes, mentally trying to push back winter's cold embrace. The unicorn's thoughts drifted to earlier in the day, the first time her mare friend had made her cry, the first time she felt betrayed by the one she trusted and loved. It was the eve before Hearth's warming day, and only a few hours until Lyra would leave for her yearly ritual. As with every year, Bonbon's shop was filled with customers buying all sorts of candies and treats for their friends and loved ones. Lyra's musical career was off the charts for the unicorn. She was invited to play for the Blue Blood family's hearts-warming banquet they threw in Canterlot every year. The money would have been nice, and the publicity would have made her a star almost overnight, but she decided to stay in Ponyville and help the mare she loved most in the world with her work. Lyra didn't tell Bonbon about her offer to play in Canterlot. Oh, I should also mention something about Bonbon.
Yes?
She's a secret agent.
What?
It's complicated.
Secret Agent Bonbon?
She was part of the secret organization of monster hunters. Basically the Men in Black.
What?
It's complicated. The episode it was introduced in was the 100th episode, which was really, really weird.
Okay.
They were basically just trying to make it as weird as possible. And thank heavens they did, because Bonbon is now a secret agent. And that's just canon.
That's amazing.
It really is. She would have pushed the unicorn to go despite her insistence to stay. So, here Lyra was, in Ponyville, in the back of her mare friend's shop, helping clean up as Bonbon's work day was coming to a close. Lyra was using her magic to finish cleaning the molds for Bonbon's various trademark candies while the... deepest apologies. I failed you again. While the shop's owner tended to the last customers before closing up. Having tossed the sugar-coated brush into the sink to soak overnight, Lyra headed for the door that led into the main area where her mare friend's candies were put on display.
Main area, I get it. It's a horse joke.
M-A-I-N.
You don't get it.
M-A-N-E would have been a horse joke.
No, it's just trying to be subtle. It was definitely an intentional horse joke.
So, Wizzy, if I stabbed you with a knife and said I was just trying to be subtle, it was a sexual innuendo, would it be a sexual innuendo?
Continue.
Just before opening the... I'm sorry, I can't. Oh, man, I was trying to play that one off, but nope. I am way too giddy tonight. I don't know why. Just before opening the swinging door, she heard two raised voices from the other side. Recognizing one as Bonbon, and always looking for the next opportunity to hear what she might have gotten the mint green unicorn for the holidays, Lyra pushed one ear to the door and eavesdropped on unsuspecting ponies outside.
I just don't know what I'm going to do, Minuta. Minuet? Minuet? I know where I got Minuta from.
Lyra recognized this as her mare friend's voice. Maybe I should have been, what's her name? Then again, you are you have gotten very little to do, so whatever. It was strange to hear the Earth pony sounding so frustrated. So, she's still going to do it then, huh? A second voice asked. Likely the blue unicorn Minuet.
Unfortunately, yes.
Lyra could hear the frustration in her mare friend's voice. Something in the unicorn's mind told her to leave, that she wouldn't want to hear this. But she stayed anyways, and listened some more. Well, you could always go with her, Minuet offered.
What? No, I made lovely.
Wait,
Lyra.
I thought this was Lyra.
No. Were you
Oh.
listening at all?
I thought that this was friggin' what's her name listening in on Lyra, not the other way around.
Oh, silly boy, silly boy.
Shoot, I was doing the Lyra voice. I guess they both have that voice now.
Now it's just weird. Oh well.
Oh, man.
What? No, I may love Lyra more than any pony and moved in with her during the summer. But I will not reinforce this habit of her.
Is she smoking?
You do know the general outline of the fic, right? It's going out on the bench and waiting for Santa.
I know, I'm kidding.
Okay, good.
It said habit, so I had to.
I suppose it just sometimes, you kind of get lost in the fic.
That is true. I do that.
Lyra heard a loud bang, like her special sun pony pounding her hoof on the counter. She knew Bon Bon didn't truly believe her, but she didn't imagine her mare friend would actually think she was insane. Oh, I'm sorry if I made you upset, Bon. I didn't mean to make you angry, Minuet apologized.
No, I'm sorry. It's not your fault.
Lyra heard Bon Bon sigh from the other side.
It's just, even when we were in high school together, she always talked to me about this dream. I thought if I moved in with her, after becoming mare friends, this would be the year she wouldn't do that stupid park. She wouldn't go to that stupid park.
Lyra could feel tears welling up in her eyes. To think the mare friend she loved enough to marry one day believed her to be insane was painful. Each word Bon Bon said was like a verbal blow to her heart. I'm really sorry, Bon, Minuet said, her voice saddened by the problems her best friends were having.
She even led me out to that park yesterday and asked me to wait with her tonight.
The candy maker continued, her pent-up anger finally letting loose.
Oh my god, why is she so angry? Just let her do this thing. It's not like she's going there to eat, like, babies or something.
Yeah, I was going to wait until you finish with this one line, but I completely agree. Like, what the crap?
Like, she's getting so irrationally angry.
I guess it's because she thinks that her, the one she loves is completely insane, but which is fair. She kind of is,
like,
let's face it.
It's like she's doing this one time a year. Come on.
Maybe she just wants to be with her. I don't know. But even then, if you wanted to be with her, like, go with her. It's not difficult. Anyways, it's you.
I told her I'd think about it, but I already knew I wouldn't do it.
Well, why not? It sounds really sweet of her to invite you to something so important to her.
Thank you, Minuet.
Minuet, you are such a golden girl. I love you.
Is Minuet an actual character in the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a whole story with Minuet and Lyra.
Aw.
I could get into it, but maybe I'll do that after the podcast. I don't know. Minuet happily remarked. Lyra's mood took a slightly positive turn, hoping their mutual blue friend might change her mare friend's mind.
Wait a minute.
What?
Is Bon Bon blue?
No.
Is Minuet blue?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I get it.
Finally.
I don't want to spend my first hearth-warming celebration with Lyra sitting on a bench in the middle of nowhere. I want to spend it with her at home, all nice and warm, not freezing to death waiting for some imaginary red stranger.
Okay. You guys could, like, cuddle up under a blanket on the bench and just be, like, all cozy together.
It sounds so
Come on.
cute. Bonbon just doesn't like cute things.
She wanted to be cute at home.
Another quick pounding noise ended her rant, effectively putting a period to everything she'd said. I think you mean a full stop, but what? No, I'm kidding. It's a period, guys. Come on. Lyra listened as a silent tear rolled down her face. Doesn't that sound a bit selfish, Bon? Minuet accused. The blue unicorn was a fantastic friend for the reason she wouldn't take some pony's side simply because they were her friend. If some pony was wrong, she called them out on it. Hell yeah, Minuet, a.k.a. Colgate. I prefer the name Colgate that the fans gave her. Yeah. She looks kind of like the toothpaste.
I know it sounds selfish, but it's, like, totally not. I'm, like, totally thinking of her when I'm telling her she's crazy and making her cry and stuff. I know it sounds selfish, but I plan on tonight being special, not boring and annoyed by Lyra's antics.
Sitting on a bench near a lamp, surrounded by snow sounds pretty special to me.
With the one you love.
I just really like snow is all.
I'm hoping
But
by
I
the
haven't
end of the
had it in so long. And who said you can't have a lamp in a fantasy story? Like, come on. That is a deep cut. What the fuck was I at? Right. That was it. That was the final stab in the heart Lyra needed before she started to break down. Well, I should be getting to the family. They'll be waiting for me, Minuet stuttered out.
All right, I understand. I hope you all enjoy the candies.
Bonbon replied, still in a poor mood. Lyra heard a few hoof steps through her sobs, each step getting slightly quieter. She'd guessed Minuet was leaving now. Oh, and Bon, go easy on Lyra if she sets the carpet on fire.
What?
That was a Back to the Future reference.
I need to watch that with you at some point.
You so do, God. She just wants to include you in her life more.
Goodbye, Minuet.
Whoa, okay.
That's her getting angry at Minuet in my voice.
Bonbon becoming a Bond villain? Jeez Louise.
Goodbye, Mr. Bond.
Bonbon's flat, unamused voice responded. Lyra stood up straight and squelched any new tears. She wouldn't just wallow and cry in the back kitchen. The mint green unicorn gathered a few... Huh?
It was back in the kitchen, not in the back kitchen.
Oh. Whatever. The mint green unicorn gathered a few more moments of silent courage. Is that what they call, like, alcohol or something? And pushed open the door leading to the main room.
Liquid courage?
No, that's liquid courage, that's right. But it doesn't talk, so... Lyra entered just in time to see the front door closing behind itself, and a surprised Bonbon turning to meet her gaze. Ooh, here we go.
Oh, hey, honey, did you finish cleaning the...
Bonbon's voice faded as she saw the bloodshot eyes of her mare friend and the tear streaks leading how her face.
You were eavesdropping? How rude.
The candy maker bowed her head and looked down to the floor. That is you.
Oh, that is my line. Sorry.
I am not in the scene anymore.
You heard us, didn't you?
She weakly asked, not having the courage to meet the unicorn's gaze.
Okay, so I totally would have had you be Bonbon if I didn't think it was Lyra originally.
Yeah, I was confused by why you wanted to be Bonbon, and then you were like, oh, I thought it was Lyra, so, yeah. But we know what the gods demand.
Yep.
Every little word, dear.
Ooh. Lyra paused between each word and put a particularly venomous sting to the last.
Lyra, I didn't mean...
Save it. It's too late, Bon.
Lyra interrupted before calmly walking over to the front door and stopping.
I guess I have your answer about tonight then, don't I?
Ouch.
I only had a few drinks. And if you think that means you can just say whatever you want about me behind my back,
She asked without bothering to turn around. Lyra didn't even wait for a reply as she walked outside and let the door shut on its own, leaving her loving mare friend alone with her thoughts. Well, I'm sure she's at least loving most of the year.
Yeah.
That was many hours ago, and Lyra still sat alone on the abandoned park bench, the light from the old lamp giving a dim glow to the heartbroken unicorn. She hadn't seen Bonbon since she left the shop. She just grabbed the present, cloth, and purple scarf and ran to the park.
Stupid Bonbon. Stupid winter celebrations. Stupid cold. Stupid dreams.
She mumbled to herself as she abandoned her favorite sitting position and pulled... Oh yeah, her favorite sitting position is like how we sit.
What?
That is very important.
Oh. So she's weird.
These characters have a history in the Brony fandom. Trust me.
Yeah.
It gets interesting. She mumbled to herself as she abandoned her favorite sitting position and pulled her hind legs up so she could sit in a position that held her warmth better. Lyra buried her face into herself and thought once again of what this might mean for their relationship, how it might be the end.
Stupid me.
Lyra sniffed to herself and began to cry, alone with no pony around to comfort her, and no mysterious dream figure to receive her gift. This would be the worst one ever. This year, she cried herself to sleep as snow covered her body, one flake at a time. She's gonna freeze to death, oh dear, oh me, oh my. Bonbon stared out the window of the living room of the house she shared with her mare friend. Tear marks, old and new, coated her face, and even the carpet where she'd been sitting for hours just watching, hoping her love would come home. Yeah, no, I couldn't do that. I'd probably go read a book or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you'd just be like, she's gonna come back at some point. She usually does.
Basically, I would want to like keep my mind off of that situation.
Yeah,
honestly.
no, I think if this were you, you probably would have gone to the bench.
Probably, actually. You know, now that
At least
you
I
mention
hope you would.
But I've never had an experience like this. I'm speaking of other experiences, sort of with me crying a lot. You know,
Yeah, I get what you mean.
you get what I'm laying down.
I'm picking up what you're laying down.
Cool.
I was such a fool. I shouldn't have said these things about her. She must be feeling even worse than I do right now. Bonbon.
Oh, no, that's you. Never mind. I'm just gonna continue reading like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I took Lyra, then I took Bonbon, and now I'm taking the narrator.
Bonbon thought as she placed a hoof on the window, longing to feel the loving touch of her mare friend on the most special night of the year.
Meeeeerrrrrryyy was right. It was so selfish of me to say that. To even think that. I love Lyra with all my heart. We've always been there for each other, even after we dated. We've gotten through so much together. I love her so much, and...
You said even after we dated. But it's even
Oops.
before we dated.
That's my
I
bad.
think that was very important.
And tonight should be spent with her.
Yeah! Bonbon finished her thoughts with a whisper to herself, Having instantly decided against all doubts and not giving it a second thought, she ran over to the door, picked up her heavy blue winter coat, and ran as fast as her legs could carry her through the front door and out into the white world that winter had created.
Oh, I was really hoping that this would have a happy ending like this.
I was
And it
really
wouldn't be
hoping
like-
that she would have grabbed a red coat.
Why?
Saying, this comes like sort of full circle. The whole red figure.
Oh. Oh, that would actually be really cute. Aw.
Yeah.
Turns out she was the figure. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I guess we'll see what happens.
Please be there, Lyra. Please don't be mad at me.
Why would she not be mad at you?
It didn't take her long to find the place she had been the day before. Even with the shroud of darkness and lack of light from the moon or town, she easily retraced her steps from the day prior. It was very, very cold outside as she walked through the snow-covered path, but thankfully she had on her blue coat, and there was almost no breeze to speak of. In fact, the candy-making mare was quite toasty.
Toasty!
My God, man. Not much further down the path, she spotted a dim light off in the distance. She increased her speed as the loud crunching of the snow under her hooves reflected. Bonbon slowed her approach as she came up behind the bench, giving herself a moment to catch her breath.
I'll just go up to her and apologize before she has a chance to say anything. That's the plan. Okay, got it.
The cream-colored mare thought to herself. She took in a breath to gather her courage and went around the side of the bench.
Lyra, I'm really sorry.
Bonbon never finished her apology. She was shot. It died right there.
I was hoping you'd say something like that.
In front of her was her mare friend, fast asleep in the cold winter air. She was curled up tight as she could be. A light dusting of snow covered her body. Bonbon looked over to see a small red cloth covering the gift she brought out with her.
Oh, honey.
Bonbon whispered to herself before carefully brushing off the snow from the sleeping unicorn's body. Lyra was shivering in her sleep, no doubt on the verge of hypothermia, having spent hours in the cold with nothing but a thin garment around her neck.
Jesus. Gotta prepare better than that, Lyra. I mean, I know you were, having a breakdown, but...
Yeah, they're covered in fur. They're
True.
fine.
They are horses. Magical horses, even.
Yeah.
Come on, let's get you home.
This is a lot like the Great Pumpkin. Bonbon whispered once more. She carefully moved her sleeping mare friend's body past her neck, and let the shivering unicorn gently rest on her back, instinctively huddling closer to the newfound warmth beneath her. Bonbon looked over her back and smiled so hard she nearly cried again. Even with her mint-green mare friend being the heaviest sleeper in Equestria and shivering, she was still the most beautiful mare Bonbon had ever seen. Bonbon looked over the cloth-covered present and quietly blew away the light covering of snow before biting through the red fabric and taking the present in her mouth. With one more look over her back to make sure the sleeping Lyra was secure, she slowly took off back to their home. This year, Lyra would spend it with the one she loved.
You mean Bonbon?
Yep, sorry. My mind has been on another thing for the past 5 minutes. This year Bonbon would spend it with the one she loved. The door to the moderately sized home squeaked open as the cream-colored mare carefully stepped inside with her precious cargo. Bonbon set the present down by the door and walked over to the fireplace that was still warm before she left. She slowly slid Lyra off her back and set her down in front of the miniature inferno. With a satisfied smile, the earth pony took her jacket off and carelessly tossed it on the nearby couch. Grabbing a blanket from their bedroom, Bonbon draped it over her mare friend and cuddled up to her in front of the fireplace. She looked slightly over to her left and saw a peaceful expression on the unicorn's face. Bonbon rested her chin above Lyra's mane and pulled herself closer, happy to be right where she always wanted to.
I'm sorry, Lyra.
Bonbon whispered before a quiet sniffle. She turned and rubbed her face into the green and white mane beneath her, feeling more tears beginning to form.
Sorry doesn't cut it.
I forgive you.
The unicorn, thought to be sleeping, whispered back without opening her eyes. For a while, neither of them moved, just happy to be with each other. Bonbon pulled her mare friend closer as Lyra slowly reached her foreleg over the earth pony's neck and pulled her into a lying down embrace. The two mares smiled at each other, their eyes finally meeting as they sat curled up next to the fire. In their minds, they both silently forgave each other and agreed to put this behind them.
Okay, come on. She was going out there to see Santa Claus or whatever. And she just, drags her back home to have the Christmas that she wanted.
Oh, we all know that she wasn't going to get that.
Hey, she might have.
I'm sorry I went out there, Bon.
Lyra broke the silence and huddled even closer to her mare friend.
I shouldn't be out chasing wild dreams that'll never come true. I guess what I'm saying is, I don't need dreams. I have you. Oh, honey.
Oh, this is terrible.
I'm sorry. I have to continue.
Bonbon grinned wildly before nearly crushing the unicorn in a loving embrace. She pulled back and gave a quick kiss before resting her head in her favorite spot, Lyra's mane. That probably smells pretty minty. While the mint green pony rested her head on Bonbon's forelegs. A few minutes of silent bliss later, Bonbon spoke up once more, her tone genuinely happy and curious.
So, what did you get him this year? I took candies from your shop and stuffed the box to the top.
Lyra pulled away and blushed.
I thought some were missing from the front showcase.
Bonbon smirked before lightly poking her mare friend in the chest.
Come on, let's open it up and split them,
she said while standing up and stretching. The cream mare walked over to the door and quickly returned the present still covered in the red cloth. She set it down between them before settling it back into a comfortable position.
Well, go on, open it.
Bonbon smiled. Lyra concentrated and used her magic to pull the fabric away from the precious container it protected. The cover pulled away, and Lyra followed the path of the levitating object as she deposited it next to Bonbon's coat. Lyra looked back to the box for a few silent moments and blinked.
Bon, this isn't my box.
Lyra furrowed her brow in confusion.
What do you mean it's not your box?
God damn it, Bonbon asked with a raised eyebrow.
I mean, the one I went out there with was red and had yellow ribbon. This one is green with red and white candy striped ribbon. This isn't mine.
Did it mention the color before? It might have. I know it mentioned the red and yellow one. I don't remember if it mentioned the red and white one. So that's... If it did, I should have noticed that. Lyra tilted her head as she studied the object before them.
Honey, look. There's a note under the ribbon on this side.
Bonbon finished with a point to the aforementioned area. Lyra quickly turned the box around and used her magic to slide the small pieces of paper out from under the ribbon and brought it up to her face. She began to read it out loud.
Dear Lyra, sorry I wasn't able to make it before. I hope you enjoy the present. Sincerely, S.
Lyra finished reading the short note and her mouth slowly opened in shock. She let the paper fall to the carpet as her eyes went wide and her forelegs pulled the box closer. With shaking hooves, she pulled off the ribbon and opened her gift. The
What was in the gift?
end. Well, who fucking knows? I don't know. So that
And then she's just like, told you so to literally everyone.
that was the one that would never come, who I guess actually did come. So, Wizzy, what'd you think?
I thought this was very nice.
So did I.
It had that nice Christmas vibe, and I love that. I just don't like how mean Bon Bon was before.
Yeah, Bon Bon was very rude. I guess she was stressed. It was the holiday season. She's a candy maker. I can understand the stress getting to her.
Let's just be glad her pent-up rage didn't come out in a different way.
Yep. Murder. Yeah. Could have been
Murdering Santa Claus and throwing him in the sack.
So the thing about Lyra, maybe I should save this for a fic that has it. But I don't know what fic has it. So, or at least one that we could read. So the thing about Lyra is that in the fandom, she is obsessed with a creature that stands on two legs, has long, spindly things at the end of their forehooves, as they would call it. And they're hairless, except for some on their head.
Okay, so it's a human.
In the fandom, Lyra is obsessed with humans.
So it's like not an actual thing that happens in the show, though?
Not really, no. They just, in the show, she was like the only pony to ever sit like humans do. And
Okay.
the fandom was like, that could be her personality. And they ran with it. Sometimes making some pretty good stuff. Sometimes, most of the time, making some really cringy crap. But that's generally the whole Lyra thing. And I don't know if that's what they were going for. They didn't mention that the specific figure was a pony. So I think it was a human, and it was Santa Claus, obviously.
Are we sure that was Santa Claus?
I'm pretty sure it was Santa Claus.
I mean, red creature, S. It could have been Satan.
The description does say... the description says a red suit, not a red creature.
Well, it could have been what she thought was a suit.
But instead was Satan.
Yeah, Satan's just like, sorry I couldn't make it. Here's a gift. And inside is like it had a decapitated head or something. It never said what it was, so. Headcanon of someone's fan fiction.
Headcanon.
Hey!
So this has been one of our longest episodes, I think.
Really?
Yeah, the stories weren't particularly long. Not even together they were. I think it was just our banter that made it a lot longer.
Wow,
Like,
I didn't even realize it had been this long.
I know, right? Like, it's... And as of recording this, and this will obviously be edited down, but this recording is 1 hour and 23 minutes long right now. So that's interesting. We should probably sign off, but, well, I should probably give my 2 cents on the story. I loved it very much. Like, I love the snowy bits, you know?
Yeah.
I love the description of snow. I love snow is what I'm trying to get at here. And I love the romance between her and Lyra and Bon Bon. Even if I do think that Bon Bon was being unreasonable, she came around in the end and, you know, did some chill stuff, you know? And I'm glad that in the end, Liar can say, ha, fuck you. I knew it was right.
Yeah.
So,
I just want to say that these stories have definitely got me excited for more Christmas type stories, or holiday type stories, I should say.
yeah, man. I'm so pumped for that. Oh, Merry Christmas.
Merry almost Christmas.
Join us next week when we go for a more comedy-esque fan fiction that's also Christmas. I can't wait to see what it is. You can't wait to see what it is. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
You know, to be inclusive, we really should just say holidays.
We should also say holidays. Happy holidays, everybody.
Bye.
Lyra pushed the troubling thoughts of the mare she loved aside and closed her eyes.
All right, hold on
mentally...
1 second.
Okay, you got it.
Gotta fix this.
Must be more than this. Some way, somehow, that I can belong. Ignorance is bliss. Why can't this fall be my pathway? Go. Your influence is why sweet dreams something. Are you done? It's hard to say goodbye. So comforting is this pathway. At least I know this'll all be cut out. The unfortunate part is that it's 2 a.m. in the morning. Oh well.